Hi, it's Joy, and today I'm going to be watching Stargirl Season 1, Episode 10, Brainwave Jr., which suggests there's going to be another episode about Henry, which makes sense because the good guys and the bad guys all know he has powers, his dad's awake, so this might well be the episode in which Henry makes his choice about good or evil, though I'm not holding out much hope for that at this stage with him. I think he's definitely got good inside of him, and that might even be what's mostly inside of him, but he also has a lot of evil influences in his life. I did see some people suggesting, and it had crossed my mind, but I kind of thought, oh no. But some people suggested that maybe at the end it might have been Brainwave that killed the guy, the lawyer, rather than Henry, and it's going to make Henry think it was him, so then Henry will be like, oh, I'm evil because I killed a man, I don't know. But yeah, there is a lot going on here, and of course, they know who Icicle is now, and Barbara knows, or she has seen them with a glowy staff that then tried to hide, so I'm very excited about this. I love this show so much, and I can't wait to watch more. If you would like to watch the unedited version, please check it out on my Patreon, and probably next week I'm going to have a poll up for what new shows I should start. I'm going to start probably 2 new shows at the beginning of August. They will go up on Patreon first as unedited, and then they'll come from YouTube a little bit later as edited. So yeah, if you want to check that out, please do. At the moment, I don't have that many patrons, so your vote will really, really be heard. And of course, you can sponsor as well. So anyway, yes, I've been babbling. I can't wait to watch Stargirl. Let's go. Are we going to find out what happened to Henry's mum? Or is this when Pat and Barbara met? It's a hell of a coincidence if she is Stargirl's ex. Starman's ex, sorry. I mean, this is the kind of meeting story you want to be able to tell the grandkids. And now she's going to be very unimpressed with him that he's let her daughter be a secret superhero.
No, I'm telling her the truth,
Yes, she needs to know the truth.
Let me start at the beginning.
You should have told her this a long time ago. Yeah, I definitely think Pat should be the one to tell the story. If I was Barbara, I would be very, very angry at Pat. She'd recognise whether or not that was the man she was with, right?
Filling my kid's head with this nonsense, telling her that her father was a superhero that blew.
I mean, he's actually told her that her dad was not a superhero several times, but...
Mom, will you just go to your room right now?
I told you she would not be happy about this. This is a very normal reaction.
Dragged my daughter into this insanity.
She kind of
told her that her father would get out of this house.
Yeah, understandably. I don't know how they're going to work through this with their relationship, because if I was Barbara, even if I came to terms with Courtney being a superhero, I would not be okay with the fact that my husband had lied to me about my daughter. 6 candles. Is he claiming he doesn't have his memories for years?
There was an accident.
Was there?
She drowned. I was scared that she had forgotten about me.
Your mum would never have done. She may have been an evil villain, I don't know.
She found her in the pool.
Oh god, he killed her, didn't he? She found out.
She was ice cold.
Ice cold. Ice cold.
Was I teaching you?
No, and I'd rather you didn't, actually.
I know how frightening these powers can be when they first develop.
See, this all seems good, but I know he's evil. Don't trust him.
I'm going to help.
Just because he's your dad and he's being kind to you, don't trust him. Oh, see, that really does look like him, but at the same time, it could also not be him. I saw someone suggesting the janitor might be her father.
Get a good night's sleep, all right?
He's not going to.
I'll come with you.
No, it's okay.
Come on, you're my dad.
Oh, Mike, you don't need to look after him, my love. If he leaves and moves out, okay. You can look after him if you want.
Thanks.
Jordan. Starman. So she died in some kind of fight? I'm so intrigued, because if something bad happened to her because of, like, the ISA, then maybe he will join the JSA.
So different.
Also, she was a good person.
It gave me, including Mary's brother, Starman.
Oh my goodness.
Starman.
I knew she would never. She would go into.
So he was trying to redeem, or not be a villain. So Mary was a good person. That bodes well for Henry.
Damn you.
Wow.
Mary's dead.
That's a lot. Yeah, but join the JSA. So if Connie is Starman's daughter, which I kind of believe, but I also think it could very well not be the case, then then that means they're cousins. Oh, can I cuddle with you? Oh, the poor little stars. What are you doing? I know we know where he is, but you can't do anything.
Reshaping that many thoughts.
Yes, it sounds terrible.
Helping them to see the light.
Controlling them, forcing them to see things that they don't believe in. Oh my god, Staff, you can't do this by yourself, sweetheart. Oh, Staff, my love. Staff, go home right now. No, don't you touch it. Don't you touch. How dare you? The staff and Courtney are so well matched. You murdered your wife.
Will be answered.
But does he think, oh, you know, she fought against him, so she brought it on herself? Oh, other Henry, I'm sorry. I mean, make the right choices now. Go find your maybe cousin and help her.
No, I don't want you anywhere near Blue.
It's a rational parenting response. You really let Mike come and sleep in a car with you? I suppose Mike wouldn't have been happy at home.
And pack, okay?
And your stepbrother's literally in there, so don't leave him behind by himself.
Brothers and sisters trust each other.
Oh, sweetheart. Big sisters try to protect little brothers. At this point, he's going to stumble in across their board of supervillains by himself.
I have so much to say, I don't even know where to start.
Oh. That is so cool that he's figured out how to do this.
You were thinking, your dad's awake?
So he's bonding that on purpose, that makes sense.
Wait, my cousin? Your family.
Oh my god, that wasn't very much not what I think Henry was expecting, but oh, she gets to find a piece of family.
Later, right?
I do think she should have another conversation with Pat. I still don't know that I would be able to forgive him ever, but she needs to talk to him. Ooh. So she thinks Sam is alive.
Not going to do anymore.
That's only play.
I love her so much.
My mom wants me ISA.
Henry is going to get some weird looks from his friend, isn't he?
We can all
But then we're next.
I get why they're acting like this.
Unless Junior, you're not gonna hurt my dad.
Oh god, children, this is not the way to deal with this. Boys.
How about you try right now?
Boys, not now. Oh my goodness.
For court.
Beth. Beth is lovely. Beth is in a way the best of the group.
Only reason I'm agreeing.
The heart of the
to do this
group.
is because I know you'll do it anyway, and you need someone to watch your back.
That is a reasonable reason to do it.
We're not friends anymore.
Yolanda. Henry needs to tell her exactly what he did and what he didn't do in that situation. Not to, like, excuse anything, but just...
Thank you, Sophus.
He's just turning the computer around very subtly.
I just hope him and my mom.
Children, be careful. Oh my goodness. I'm stressed. I don't like them going in by themselves. It's because they haven't done any training yet. Like, once they train, I will be able to look past their age and be more confident in them fight, but they've literally not ever trained. Do not say split up.
We split up, I guess. You.
Oh, children, I love you all. Be safe. I'm even putting Henry in that. He's the least of my loves.
You speak Norwegian?
Did she record it on her phone? Oh, see, Barbara, we need her on the team. Oh, see, I think Barbara might be able to forgive him, but he needs to be, like, very apologetic and fully explain to her how much Courtney was pushing and, you know, be like, I should have told you, but I didn't know how. Like, they couldn't get through this with a conversation or 10.
I'd honestly do anything to take it back.
She's not going to believe you, but that's a start. That is a start, and I think you saw by the fact that Yolanda hesitated, that is a start. He needs to say a lot more things like that.
What was that?
That was the thing that killed his parents.
Let's see.
I really want Dr. Midnight to get her owl. Stress. Hello, I'm stressed. How are you?
She's here! That bitch is here!
That's Cindy. At least she's got something to fight with. Okay, slightly outnumbered. Yes, my loves. Okay, Henry being on this team is what I'd hoped for, so that's good. Yes. Oh, I love that. He is using his abilities very intuitively. I love it.
What are you doing?
You need to go and help everyone else. Oh, Rick.
Thought it was obvious.
No, Rick, you can't by yourself.
Dad.
Oh, where is he in his memories?
Henry?
Snap. Dragon.
Dragon beast.
Snap dragon. Oh god. We need staff. Yes. Yep. Yes, this could have been done half an hour ago, but okay. There were a lot of zombie clones around. And then... Oh my god. Yes! Beautiful teamwork. Yes. Get that snapdragon. Oh, okay, snapdragon. I love the scream shoot. He really should have kept that on. Oh god. It's too late. Oh, I'm sorry, Henry.
It's who you are.
No, it's not. Oh, yes, Henry. I'm proud of you. I count Henry among my children now. Oh, I'm sorry, Rick. Now we know he's here. They can come back from another time. It is time to... Oh, Rick, it's time to go. Yeah, that's totally fine. Being back, I'm here for being back. We will get justice when we come back. I want to read the message. Oh dear, are they trapped? I love this shot of all of them.
How about an assist?
Yes, please. An assist is good. We like assists. Are we going to be left with just Henry on? Is Henry going to get caught? Go, sweetie. Oh my goodness, he's sacrificing himself. Oh no, I like him being a good guy. They might be able to brainwash him. I don't want that. Oh, so she's trying to help him. Oh, sweetheart. I'm sorry, Henry.
People are monsters.
Oh, how is this child so much more enlightened than his father?
I love you.
Oh no, Henry, sweetheart.
I love you.
Oh my god, he's gonna kill him.
Me train.
Or brainwash him.
Jordan killed her because she saw the good in you too.
Oh, he killed her.
Jordan didn't kill.
Oh, he killed her. I was right the first time.
I did.
Oh, Henry, don't fall apart, sweetheart, okay? Escape. Please escape.
We'll never
Escape!
stand by your
Oh my god, no. Oh, no, 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 no.
Goodbye, son.
No, 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 no. Oh, fuck. Oh my goodness. Oh, they're all trying to save him.
I am sorry.
Oh no, not now. This isn't how I wanted it to happen.
You're right. People are good. Don't let this change your mind.
Oh, oh god. This isn't what I wanted. This isn't what I wanted. Please say he's somehow alive. Like he's got a mental shield over himself. Thanks. Just where I wanted you to end. So, you know, at least it ended there, because I think if it had gone on much longer, I'd be sobbing. I didn't even, like, properly like Henry until this episode. I'm gonna just be in denial, maybe, that, like, he's got psychic powers, so he could, like, do a telekinetic shield over himself, right, when it fell. I mean, if he was more trained, he could do that. I don't have much hope for Henry right now, and that makes me very, very sad. I mean, I've been saying for ages that I think the difference is interesting because Icicle, as much as he is like the worst villain in that he's the leader, he truly believes he's doing good, I think, in his own way. Like, he's one of those villains that truly thinks he's doing good. Whereas Brainwave is a villain that knows he's doing evil, but thinks humanity is also evil, so it doesn't matter. So he'll kill his child, whereas Icicle has seemingly kept his kid in the dark, and we don't know how things are going to happen when it comes to a point where Cameron is confronted with the truth. But I am so upset if Henry is dead, and I mean he is, isn't he? Because I was really, like, rooting for him as a character. I thought his journey would be very interesting. I thought, you know, he would need to really explain to Yolanda everything that happened and really apologise, and we got the beginning of that, and we got the end moment, and I'm not okay, because I think this episode was really sweet. And so I'm going to hold out some kind of hope that Henry's not dead, that Henry's going to turn up later, but I'm also going to mourn him, if that makes sense. Luckily it's season 1, and this was the first episode I liked Henry in. Like, there have been previous episodes where I'd felt for him, there were previous episodes where I was rooting for him, but this is the first one where I was like, yes, yes, he's good, I love him, and I let him into my heart, and then they hurt me. I think the way all the kids were acting makes total sense, like when they didn't want him to be part of it, but it's different, I think, once you're confronted with the truth. Once you see him being good, you see him choosing against his father, you see him sacrificing himself. That shows you much more about what's on deep down, beyond the bully that you see every day in the halls. And I'm really sad about that. I'm sad for Yolanda because she deserves the chance to hear the truth from him. She deserves the chance to have a long time to choose whether or not to forgive him for her own healing process. It's really Cindy that is the one that we know is the devil. And she was all like murdery downstairs still, which is horrible. But I am very upset. Like I said, he's like... In a way, when Joey died, I was like, he could turn up again alive at some point, but I think he is definitely dead. And I do think Henry is dead. But I also wouldn't be surprised if he was alive. Like, even if Brainwave made it look like he died and had him covered up or somehow, and is going to take him away and brainwash him to be evil like him. I don't know, just wanted the good guys to not look for him because they thought he was dead. I don't know. I mean, there are all sorts of outlandish theories that people can write in fan fictions, and maybe some of them will come true, but for now, as far as the characters are concerned, he's dead, and that is very, very upsetting. I do think Barbara is going to choose to stay in Blue Valley, and I do think she's going to make things right with Pat, because it's so hard, because in some ways, if she were to not forgive him, if she were to just totally be like, I don't care, you have put my daughter in danger, you've put her into these dangerous situations, she's 15, 16, she's a child, she's my daughter, you need to tell me, even if they were both your biological parents, she would have a right to know, etc. I would totally understand Barbara's response being what it is. I mean, I've been saying, like, Pat will be sleeping outside. And it's hard because in some ways if she never forgave him, that's totally justified, and I like that Pat was like, okay, yeah, if I lose her, as long as she's safe, that's fine. He kind of, as much as he's going to mourn her and grieve the loss of their marriage, if that were to happen, he would let her go, which I think is good. But I also think that if she knows the truth of it all, which is that Pat tried to stop Courtney, and then he tried to help her so that she didn't get herself hurt, and then they realised there was a big problem. The problem really is that he didn't tell Barbara a lot sooner when he was aware of what Courtney was doing. He really should have told her a lot sooner. So I think it will be a good sign that he has been very honest ever since. You know, as soon as she saw them with the staff, he told her everything. I mean, we as viewers know he had been about to try and tell her everything anyway. I think it would help if he had said, oh, right before the McKents came for dinner, I was going to tell you then, because that might help her to think, okay, so he did make, because I think it's a huge thing when someone tells you a secret of their own volition, rather than when you find out by accident, which is why TV shows always have people finding out by accident. So I really think she will probably come around, just because in the TV show world we don't want Courtney and Pat to not be together and to leave, or for, you know, their family to be broken up. Poor old Mike is definitely going to feel like he's been left out now. If everyone else in the family is having these discussions and he walks in and they stop, it's almost worth telling him. I mean, especially as he lives in a town full of superheroes, supervillains, like, he maybe needs to know. I mean, he's a tiny kid, do not send him out on missions, but he's going to get even more messed up, and he was just beginning to warm and settle into his new family. I do still worry about that kid. And yeah, I like that she listened in, because we know from the dinner that when they talk in Norwegian, they do not say nice things. They say things like, I'll kill that one. You know, they're very villainy with their Norwegian speaking. I think Barbara will be a useful addition just because she has a different way of thinking, because she is someone on the inside of the American dream thing. You know, they have got an inside person, and while that's very dangerous, if Barbara elects to make that decision, that's different because she is an adult and she can make her own choices. Also this episode, the staff and Courtney are such a match. I mean, they just belong together. They're both so reckless that you just want to scream at them, but you totally understand why they're doing what they're doing. Like, they're rushing into danger, you get that they're being just Gryffindors, but it's dangerous. And the staff proved at the exact same point Courtney's proved many times. They both need training. All of these kids need training, because I know that I go on a lot about how they're just kids and I don't like it. And my main issue with that is less that the kids are doing it, because I can totally see a bunch of 16-year-olds wanting to go and fight crime. It's the adults allowing it without training that has me a bit like, no. But Pat hasn't actually been too into them doing missions, so that's fine. They just need to do training really badly. Hopefully in between seasons they'll have time to train, if it's not left on a cliffhanger. Also, Courtney and her dad. Now, I've been saying since the beginning, Courtney is so confident that Starman is her father, but who's to say the staff doesn't actually just look for certain values in people, and therefore it lights up for her and it lit up for Sylvester, rather than them being related. I mean, he does look a hell of a lot like the guy in the locket. So, yeah, I mean, that reply could have been an automated reply of, we're very sorry, he's dead. That reply could have been someone saying, like, an automated thing, or it could have been someone saying, oh, thanks for getting in touch, I'm afraid he's not alive, or we found out this was a fake identity, or I've never heard of you before, I'm Sam Curtis, and who are you? You know, that would still be potentially Starman, or he's just a deadbeat who has been deadbeat out there all this time. Which will be very sad for Courtney, because I think she's grown very attached to this idea that her father was a superhero, and that the reason he wasn't around was because he had died fighting bravely rather than because he was a deadbeat. So it will be very hard for her, and I mean, Henry potentially died thinking he had a cousin, so I don't know. Something nice for him, I suppose. He thought there was a good bit of his family over there, but you know, it's just so hard, isn't it, all of this, because Courtney will be crushed if she finds out her father wasn't Starman. But at no point has Pat Pat has basically just stopped denying it when she mentions it, because he's never been convinced. Just because Sylvester never mentioned him, they're best friends, you think he'd mention, but you can see her point of a superhero wanting to have a family where people wouldn't, and have a child and keep it safe from the villains. So I do understand both. And of course, oh, Brainwave just needs to die. I mean, I don't know, because obviously he knows who Courtney is, so unless they interrupted him before he got to the point of remembering who Courtney is, and they're just going to leave him at it because he's close enough, that might be a way they get around that. The fact that they did interrupt the process might mean that he remembers everything up to last year, and that's close enough for the ISA. But yeah, if he does know who Courtney is, that's very bad, because not only does Cindy know, and I feel as though the longer she's kept prisoner, the longer she might actually be like, if you let, I'll tell you who she is if you let me out. I don't know. But there's 2 members of the ISA, or a member and then a wannabe member, who know who Courtney is. And I'm just stressed about this. And the fact that he killed his own wife, and then he killed his own son, and like, I'm holding out on all these ridiculous theories of like, he put his own force around himself, Brainwave put a force field around himself, around the kid, so he can brainwash him or something. But I think that was probably Henry's last stand. But that was like, again, part of me just feels like we spent so much time on Henry that for them to kill him there is very unusual for a superhero kind of show. This isn't a finale, this isn't a mid-season finale, this is just episode 10, and there's 3 more. So part of me still feels like there's going to be somewhere that he is going to be alive, but the rest of me feels like they did that as a very final scene. And I mean, we know Stargirl killed Joey in episode 3, but it was episode 3, I believe it was episode 3 at least. It was very early on, we didn't really know Joey, and that really set the stakes that kids can die, adults can die, like, this is dangerous. Whereas a character that you've spent a lot of episodes on, they've given us a lot of character development, a lot of backstory, they've got him finding out his whole powers, him battling between all people and monsters to finally being like people. He had a full character arc, so if he is dead, I'm not saying it's wasted, but I'm also like, they were building up for a lot more, so I want him to be alive, and I'm probably just wildly hoping. But yeah, I will assume he is dead, but hold out that little bit of hope that he's alive, but he's not. So yeah, this was another fantastic episode of this show. I mean, I love it so much, and it's already hurting me, which does not bode well for the future. But yeah, this was brilliant. I am terrified about next week, but also very excited. So yeah, thank you for watching.